Hi guys, and welcome back to another video. Today, the topic we're going to be talking about are carbs, and are they bad?
Is butter a carb? Yes.
No, butter is not a carb, it's fat. So carbs are sugar molecules. What happens to carbs is they get broken down into glucose. Glucose is the same thing as, or another word for blood sugar. Glucose is the body's main source of energy used by your cells, tissues, and organs. So essentially, it is essential. So why do so many people go to the extreme of trying to cut out carbs? Well, because as humans, we aren't good at boundaries. We're not good with setting limitations. So rather than just setting that boundary of, hey, this is enough carbs throughout the day, this is how many carbs I need to eat, we just cut it off all together and just say, hey, I need to cut carbs out because the problem is carbs. No, it's about self-control. I've realized a trend in history. Through the 70s and the 80s, the fad was the low-fat diet. Then in the 90s and the 2000s, the low-carb diet. And now the newest thing is keto. Everyone wants to eat high-fat, which is funny because that used to be something completely different 20, 30 years ago. Why is it important? Like I said, it is the body's main source of energy, but it also fuels our central nervous system. And what is the central nervous system, you ask? It consists of two parts, the brain and the spinal cord. Now, what it does, it controls most of the body and the mind. So it's pretty freaking important. Carbs also aid in fat loss. How might you ask? It helps speed up your metabolism. Carbs also help control your blood sugar. When you have a spike in your blood sugar, your insulin, it causes you to feel super energetic and then you crash after. So the ideal goal is to keep your carbs consistent throughout the day. It can also be important for mental health. Depriving yourself of carbs literally affects your brain. If you took a study of 100 people, random people, who have anxiety or depression, and you examine their diet, you would probably come into the fact that they are either undereating or overeating. It also influences your brain function, your memory, your mood, and your decision making. That should tell you all that you need to know. Having enough carbs is so important for so many different aspects of your life. So there isn't such a thing as a bad carb per se, but a lot of people give simple carbs that connotation because it consists of more unhealthy foods such as like ice cream or white rice, where simple carbs lack nutrients, they don't have a ton of fiber, they're high in refined sugars and grains, and then they're high in saturated and trans fats. Generally, they're also higher in calories as well. Now, for complex carbs, they are generally nutrient dense. They're usually higher in fiber, lacks refined sugars, and generally they're lower calories. So if I had to give advice to a client, I would not say all you need to eat are complex carbs. They're good for you because it's important to have all those nutrients, it's important to have fiber and stuff like that, but I also do think it's important to also take in simple carbs as well. Specifically, a lot of people don't realize simple carbs are great for workouts. It helps give you that sugar that you need, that glucose that you need for your workout to help fuel, or if you have any blood sugar issues like me, where you need simple carbs right then, I have hypoglycemia, it helps aid in that as well. It's more about having the balance of simple and complex carbs because again, too much of anything is not necessarily good for anyone. Now, examples, a complex carb would be a vegetable, potatoes, oats, or beans. Examples of simple carbs would be candy, sodas, potato chips. Now, the only case where I would necessarily recommend a low carb diet to a client as a nutrition coach, because I'm not a nutritionist nor am I a dietitian, is insulin resistance. Now, what is insulin resistance? It is basically where your body is resisting insulin, which insulin is important, and at that point, most insulin resistant clients are at a weight that is dangerous for them. It's a health risk, and in that case, a lot of doctors and nutritionists and dietitians do recommend a lower carb diet just to kind of lower the weight quicker. I don't recommend that for a long-term solution, but I do recommend that just to get the client back to a healthier zone in terms of their health. Generally speaking, a well-rounded diet is extremely important for everyday function and for any of your physical goals that you have. Now, in terms of macros, I want to do a macro series. I plan on doing it with Dakota. We just haven't had the chance to meet up, and we intend on doing it very soon. So that's my TED Talk on carbs, why they're important, You need them. You need them to function every day. You need them to think. It also helps with your moods. If you notice you're cranky, that's what they say in the Snickers commercial. You're not you when you're hungry.
You're playing like Betty White out there.
That's not what your girlfriend said.
You're not you when you're hungry.
If you haven't already, make sure you thumbs up this video if you liked it, and if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate it. Next time we'll be talking about why protein is important for you and why you could use more of it in your life. But other than that, I will talk to you guys in the next video. Bye.
Nice to know ya, let's do it again.